Chapter 7 From the Cage by Ruth Minsky Sender. Slowly life in the ghetto begins again. With the help of friends, I manage to get a job that I can do from the house. From a rug factory, I receive scraps of fabric, which I braid and roll into large rolls to be used in the making of rugs for the Germans. As a home worker, I lose the right to the daily soup given at the factory, but I get to stay home with Labelle and care for him. Motel and Michelle save their portions of soup until they come home at 5. We all share their soup for our dinner. Labelle's condition worsens, and the gallstones that I developed 2 years ago cause painful attacks. With Mama's love and care, the pain was easier to endure, but we tried to comfort each other with our devotion. My legs swell up more and more, but there is nothing I can do about it. I try to keep my brothers from noticing it. They cannot help. Why make them worry? One morning as I get out of bed, my legs buckle. I lose my balance and I fall back against the bed. I feel silly and I try to smile. Startled, Labelle looks at me from across the room, but seeing my embarrassed smile, he makes a joke of it. Well, my sister is drunk today. I bet you can't walk a straight line from your bed to mine. Oh, so you're a wise guy now. I stand up, but my legs give way again, and I fall to the floor. We stop smiling. I try to hide my fear. Well, you win. I am drunk. You must be tired. You have to rest a little more today. Labelle's eyes are filled with worry. I pull myself up and get back to bed. 7 hours later, I try again and fall asleep. My feet refuse to hold me up. Day after day, I keep trying. Day after day, I keep falling. Motel tries to get a doctor to come to the house. No luck. Our neighbor, Mrs. Avner, shriveled and hardly holding herself up, looks in on us daily. Her son-in-law, Moishe, spends the evenings with us trying to keep up our spirits. It is heartbreaking to see the fear in Labelle's eyes. Now that I am his mother, will he lose me too? Rif Kelly, please eat my bread. It will help you get stronger, he pleads. I refuse. He gets angry at me, but he finally gives in and eats his meager portion of bread. One evening, Moishe, his blue eyes shining, bends over my bed, his hands hidden behind his back. Close your eyes and open your mouth. What are you up to, I ask. Come on, listen to me. Motel and Labelle join in. Open your mouth, close your eyes, trust us. They are excited and very mysterious. All right, I'll play your game. I open my mouth slightly. Michelle slips something soft through my lips. Bite into it, he urges. Come on, bite into it. Slowly, cautiously, I bite into the plump, soft object. A burst of sweet, tangy juice fills my mouth suddenly with a delightful, long-forgotten taste. Is it real? Is it possible? A tangerine? A real tangerine in the ghetto? In our home? In my mouth? I open my eyes. Motel's joyous smile, his proud look tell me it is real. Holding the tangerine in his hand, Michelle says, We traded our bread for it at the black market. This will help you get well. You'll see. Tears choke me. My darling brothers, they gave up their bread. They will go hungry a whole week for our tangerine. They are waiting for a miracle from one tangerine. I should be angry at them, but they are my miracle. Their devotion is the greatest wonder in this cage. My tears finally break loose. I love you all so much. I take the tangerine break into sections, put it on a plate. I will not eat it alone. We'll give Labelle half. He is sick, and we'll share the rest. We'll have a party. But it's for you, to make you well, they protest. I push the plate aside. We'll share, or I will not eat. I mean it. We share. I swallow the sweet pieces of the fruit slowly, savoring each drop of the delicious nectar, my heart bursting with love for those 3 beautiful kids, my kids. I must get well. I must get well. Chapter 8. I will find a doctor for you. I will. Our neighbor Moishe says one day, his voice determined and angry. You cannot just stay in bed and rot. I won't allow it. I smiled sadly. Moishe, no wonder they call you Messenhugger, Moishe. You are crazy, Meshuggah, Moishe. You are crazy. Where will you find a doctor to look at me? There are very few doctors in the ghetto, and they are too busy to come to the house. Don't you call me Meshuggah. I am not crazy. I'll find a doctor, you'll see. I'll show them all what a Meshuggah Moishe can do. I look at him closely. He is in his 30s, medium height, skinny, pale. With his angry, burning eyes, his clenched fists, he looks like a madman about to fight the world. For a whole week, he does not show up at our house. I wonder if I hurt his feelings. What right do I have to call him crazy? Maybe I am the one who's crazy, waiting for a better tomorrow that may never come for us. Then one morning, he comes radiant, excited, shouting, Get dressed. I am taking you to see a doctor. My smishma will stay with LaBelle. Hurry, let's go. I stare at him. I cannot walk. How will I get to the doctor? You just get ready and don't ask stupid questions. I am the Meshuggah here, remember? As soon as I am dressed, he picks me up in his arms and carries me out the door into the street. The cool, fresh air feels so invigorating and clean. It has been weeks since I felt fresh air caressing my face, a breeze gently playing with my hair. I feel awkward and embarrassed, being carried through the street like a small child. Moishe, how far are we going? I feel so clumsy and silly. I am too big and too heavy to be carried like a baby. People are staring at us, Moishe. So what? Besides, people in the ghetto are not surprised at anything anymore. You are not the only one who cannot walk. You know, Moishe, you do have the right nickname, and I am glad you are my friend. He smiles, pleased with himself. So where is the doctor's office, Moishe, my friend? Not too far, only a little way more. On Lopez-Sangiorgio Street. Lopez-Sangiorgio, I cry out. You mean on the other side of the ghetto bridge? You are going to carry me all the way there? You can't carry me that far. It's 5 blocks to the bridge, 2 long flights of stairs to the overpass, 2 flights down to the other side of the ghetto, 2 more blocks to the doctor's office. Who do you think you are, Samson? Who do you think you are, Samson? What happens if the guard at the bridge is bored today and he feels like having some fun and starts shooting at us to amuse himself? Can you run with me in your arms? Let's go back, Moishe. You cannot make it over the bridge. I rattle on, frantic. Now you stop this and be still. You have a short memory, Rifkilly. You told me I have the right nickname, remember? A Meshuggah can do anything, so stop your blabbering. Put your arms around my neck and be still. You'll make it easier on both of us. I put my arms around his neck, put my head on his shoulder, and whisper softly, May you be blessed with the strength of Samson today. We make it across the bridge safely. The guard does not pay any attention to us. He stands in his booth playing with his rifle. Moishe's heavy breathing tells me that his strength is giving out, but he keeps on going, taking only short rests. He carries me up 3 flights to the doctor's office and puts me down on a chair with a triumphant look. We made it, see? See what a Meshuggah can do? The small room is crowded with people, most of whom look more like human skeletons than men and women. I feel healthy looking at them. If it were not for the problem with my legs. After a long wait, our turn comes. The doctor, a man in his 50s, looking worn, examines me carefully, asking very few questions. I keep my eyes glued to his face, trying to read the verdict in his expression. Is there hope for me? But all I see in his face is frustration, helplessness, pity. What is wrong with her, doctor? Moishe can't stand the suspense any longer. Can you help her? Can you do something for her? Avoiding my eyes, the doctor looks at Moishe sadly. I wish I could. I know her problem. Now, malnutrition, vitamin deficiency, loss of calcium in her bones. But the cure I cannot supply. I wish I could help her, and all the others. I feel sorry for the helpless doctor. I feel sorry for Moishe and his wasted effort. I feel sorry for myself. Chapter 9. I stay in bed day after day, making braids for rugs. Motel receives permission to pick up the material for me from the rug factory so I can work in bed. LaBelle's sense of humor, his strong will to live, his wisdom keep my morale. Hey, big sister, what happened to your smile? Is it still sleeping? Knock, knock. Mr. Smile. It is morning. Wake up, he calls. Mr. Smile, if you're lost, we'll have to search for you. So come on, don't play hard to find. I know you're only hiding. I am waiting. He makes funny faces at me until he sees a smile on my face. We play games, tell stories, crack jokes. Our favorite game is What If? What if the war came to an end today, LaBelle? What would be the first thing you would do? I would get a huge loaf of bread and eat until I could eat no more, and I would never feel hungry again. We speak about Mama and the day when she will return to us, about our sisters, Mala and Chanel, and our brother Yankel. We wonder where they are, what life is like for them in a distant strange land away from their loved ones. They must be so lonely, and I am sure they are also wondering what is happening to us, LaBelle. I have an idea. I'll write them daily letters and tell them about our life in the ghetto. You're so silly, Riff Kelly. You know there is no mail going out or coming into the ghetto, so why write? Well, if the war ends tomorrow and they came home, we will not have to tell them anything. We will just give them their mail, and it will answer all their questions. In the back of my mind, I have a different thought. What if we do not survive to answer their questions? The letters will tell them our story. I write my first letter that day to my sisters and brother far away from home. I think of Mama often. I miss her so much. LaBelle says one day, I know when she returns she will be disappointed and angry because we have stopped studying. Maybe you should start teaching me again, and Motelli and Michele. You always wanted to be a teacher. Start with us. We have some books. You will be the teacher. We will be the students, and we'll have our own private school. His eyes glow with excitement. His pale face has a touch of color. We must be ready for Mama's return, for the tomorrow that is coming. The four of us talk it over that same evening. LaBelle is right. Mama will be hurt if we do not continue our study of history, Jewish literature. The stories of Shalem al-Kaim, the poems and stories of I.L. Peretz, Reason, Kulbach will become part of our daily routine. I love the way you tell the adventures of Sholem al-Kaim's motel and his brother Eli. They make me laugh, says Mosheli. I put my arms around him. It is good to hear you laugh, my dear brother. Sholem al-Kaim said, laughter is good for your health. If laughter is such a good medicine, let's laugh, laugh, laugh. Maybe it will even make us well. But we need much more than laughter to make us well. It does not cure tuberculosis or put calcium back into my bones. One evening, looking nervous and excited, Motel hands me a small bottle. Riff Kelly, before you get angry at us, please listen. This bottle contains vitamins that will make your bones strong again. They are called Vigantol. We waited a long time for them to be smuggled into the ghetto. We were lucky. They are impossible to get. Please don't be mad. We love you. We need you. I stare at the little bottle in my hand for a while. How did you pay for it, Motelli? Look at me. How did you pay for it? Well, he stammers, we could not ask your permission. You would have said no, but we talked it over, he adds quickly. We all agreed. We sold our bread ration for the week. It will be all right. You'll see. You'll see. LaBelle and Moisture echo. It will be all right, Riff Kelly. Please don't be mad. Please. This better make me well, you crazy kids. I try to sound tough, taking the dropper filled with vitamins, raising it high. I say, l'chaim to life. L'chaim, the reply in one happy voice. I show improvement. The selling of our bread for vitamins is repeated. Holding on to the walls and furniture, I start to move about the house. Chapter 10. One day a social worker from the Ghetto Child Welfare Department comes to see us. She looks around the house and asks questions while carefully studying each of us. Finally, with warmth and compassion in her voice, she states the reason for her visit. It has been reported that we, 4 young children, live alone without adult supervision. We cannot allow this to continue and must find proper homes for all of you. We have families who lost their children. They will be happy to have a child in their home to fill the emptiness in their hearts. We will even find a home for LaBelle. She speaks softly, slowly, as if there to lessen the horrible blow of her words. I look at her gentle face, her kind eyes, her slight build, and wonder how this fragile-looking woman has the strength to utter such words. How can she carry the burden of separating a family? I look at LaBelle, and Mama's pleading eyes are before me. I hear a voice within me crying, "A mother does not give up her children. A mother does not give up her children." I look at her, and the anger rises in my voice. "Don't try to break our hearts again. You will not separate us. Please, leave us alone." She does not leave us alone. She comes again and again, bringing vitamins for me, an egg for LaBelle, bread for all of us, and always she brings the same horrible word from her superior's adoption. I beg her to forget us, to let us have what little happiness we have. Finally, I refuse to let her in. "Riff Kelly, you know you cannot fight them much longer. We are helpless against them. They will have their way in the end," says Motelli. I am not sure anymore. Am I right to fight adoption? Maybe they would be better off, find good homes, be happy. Is it wrong to want to hold our family together? Does my love for them give me the right to decide what is best for them? Do I know what is best for them? One day, a special messenger brings a summons, ordering each of us to appear at the Child Welfare Department. We have no choice but to go. LaBelle stays home. His body is consumed by tuberculosis, but his mind is clear and sharp. He wishes us luck, following us sadly with his eyes. We walk, Moshele and I, holding hands without saying a word. My weak legs move very slowly. In the Child Welfare Department, we are taken to separate rooms. I wait, my heart pounding violently, my eyes fixed on the door. It opens, and a young woman walks in. I know who she is. Miss Wolkouna, the head of the Child Welfare Department. She looks silently at me. I study her face, calm and serious. Does this mean her decision is made? Will she listen to me? I suppose you know what I called you about. Your case has been pointed out to me, and I wanted to meet you. You look to me intelligent enough to understand. We mean well. We want to help you. We know what is best for you and your brothers. We will find good homes for Motel and Moshele. I am willing to adopt you. I know more about you than you think. She pauses for a moment, and LaBelle will go to a home for children. Home for children, I repeat with a trembling voice. That means he will be with the first new victims of the Nazis' transport. Is that why Mama sacrificed her life, so LaBelle should be sent to a home to wait for deportation or deportation? Is that what you are asking me to do? Send him willingly to his death? Good homes for my brothers, a good home for me. Do you think a little more bread, an extra piece of meat will take the place of brotherly love, give us the warmth of our home? Our house is empty without Mama, but our hearts are not. The love for one another that she planted there will always be with us. We can only be happy together, but do not destroy us. Leave us alone, please. My tears give way, pour freely over my face. She puts her hand on my head. I see the tears in her eyes. With quivering lips, she places a soft kiss on my hair. Without saying a word, she leaves the room. I wait outside for the boys. Motel comes out first, his eyes burning with anger. Then Moshele, his face pale, frightened. He takes my hand in his, holds it tightly. I do not want to leave our home. Do you think they can force me? Motelli looks at me. We all know that we cannot stop them. We walk in silence for a while. Then Motelli breaks the silence. I told them we did not come for help. All we want is to be left alone. Is that too much to ask? I will not leave no matter what they do. LaBelle has waited in fearful anticipation for our return. He looks carefully at each of us, trying to read the verdict for our faces. Then a smile covers his delicate face. I knew we would not give up, he says with pride. We live in a state of maintaining and wondering. Are these our last days together? Is there a tomorrow for us? The agony in our faces, but we do not speak about it. There is nothing left to say. Every knock at our door takes our hearts, stopping, beating. Are they coming for us? And then, one day, I called into the child welfare department alone. Slowly, I opened the door to the same office as before. The social worker is at her desk. She runs toward me and throws her arms around me, shouting with joy, "Good news, my child, good news." I look at her dazed. She pulls me over her desk and points at some papers. "You know what these papers are?" Her voice is jubilant, elated. "They are your adoption papers. I see. My world would crumble before me." "Oh, no," she says quickly, putting her arms around me to hold me. "It is not what you think. We had a special session about your case. We decided to make an exception to our rules, seeing the love and devotion you have for one another. We feel that you all deserve to keep what you have. You are going to be the only 16-year-old to be a legal guardian of younger children. That means you are adopting your own brothers. At the same time, I must point this out to you before you sign. You are losing the rights of a child. Today you become an adult." For a moment, I just stand there, overwhelmed. It has happened. Our dream has come true. We are not being separated. We have one another. We have our home. We are still a family. I grab her hands, hug them tightly, whispering, "Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you." That day, for the first time in weeks, we breathe freely. The four of us cuddle together on LaBelle's bed, full of joy, forgetting for the moment that we are still in the ghetto cage. Chapter 11. Motelli and Moshelli make their daily trip to work. Their school is the tailor shop. Their books, the sewing machine, their lesson, the making of German military uniforms. I look at their tired blue eyes and try to recall their smiles. The gleam in Moshelli's eyes, always full of mischief, is what it was so long, long ago. I look at Motelli. He looks much older than his 15 years. His eyes are the ways of an old man who has seen all the misery of life but will not give up fighting for a better tomorrow. His voice is strong, mature, serious. I wonder at the changes that mark us all. We are so cold. I spend many hours sitting on LaBelle's bed, reasoning to him, talking, playing games. I wonder if there were a free world outside our cage is still the same Riva. Do you people outside the ghetto live a normal life? Do they go to school, to shows? Do they ever feel hungry? Riva, do you think it is possible that the great big world has forgotten about us? Does anybody care? Sometimes I wonder, Riva. I put my fingers on his mouth. Such doubt and from him. LaBelle, don't you start with such silly thoughts. You are the strongest among us. You keep up the morale in the house. I do not want to hear such words, not from your lips. I am sure the world outside the cages remembers us. They will come to our rescue very soon. A faint grin covers his tired face, but your mouth to good ears. A faint grin covers his tired face. From your mouth to God's ears, if God has not forgotten us. I look at my sweet little brother, slowly fading away, and I too wonder. A sudden knock at the door echoes through the house. Startling both of us, we hold our breath and wait. I left the door unlocked for Mrs. Abner to come in, but she would not knock. We hold hands, slightly praying. From LaBelle's bed, the front door is out of sight, but we can hear it being opened slightly. From LaBelle's bed, the front door is out of sight, but we can hear it being opened. Footsteps. Someone is slowly moving about in the kitchen. My heart stops. Is this the end for us? Are the Nazis searching for the sick again? What do I do with LaBelle? I cannot hide him now. Our cellar is in the kitchen. I must not panic. Sit still. Wait. Hope. A mournful lament breaks the deadly silence, fills the house with its grief, sends chills down my spine. There is no left of my family. There is no one left of my friends. They are all gone, all gone. There is something familiar about that voice. I make my way slowly toward the kitchen door. I hear the voice again, but now it is the hoarser whisper of a broken man. They are all gone, all dead. My God. It is Shmulek's voice. Our neighbor, our friend. I stopped short. It can't be. He left a year ago as a volunteer for a labor camp. They assured him that he was helping his family, but they were all deported a short while after he left. His mother, his brothers, his sister, they are all gone. He made his sacrifice, but I did not help them survive. I cannot be Shmulek. No one ever returns from labor camp. And cautiously, slowly, I speak through the kitchen door. I see the figure of a man, his head bowed, his feet dragging heavily toward the door. He is leaving. I stare at the black, curly hair, the broad shoulders. It is Shmulek. I want to run to him, but stay frozen. I want to call out for him, but stay speechless. Choked up, paralyzed, from deep inside of me an agonizing cry, finally tears out. Shmulek, we are all still here. Shmulek, we are still alive. Hey, turn towards me. Hey, stare at my face. He touches my hair, my eyes. Riva, Riva, you are real. You are alive. It is not a dream. I thought there was no one left anymore. That's the end of chapter 11, and I will continue in another video.